matter the court is going to call is Baxter County case 2015-54, State of Arkansas versus Kayla May. Other cases involving the same defendant is 2014-223, 2014-225, and 2015-29. First order of business is we're here for arraignment on the charge of possession of a controlled substance with the purpose to deliver a Class B felony. On that case, how does the defendant plead?
Your Honor, at this time we'll waive a formal reading of the charges and enter a plea of not guilty. I've had an opportunity to discuss these charges with my client.
This matter will be set on this by scheduling order on this court's docket.
Your Honor, if I may move, I apologize for interrupting, Your Honor, but for the purpose of judicial efficiency, and I don't think the state will object, could we set this with the other cases that are already in Division 3 with Honorable Judge Putman? I think we might be able to resolve all of them together. All three of those other cases are already so consolidated, Your Honor.
All three of them are on Division 3 docket?
Yes, sir.
Well, if Judge Putman doesn't object, the court will transfer Division 2015-54 to Division 3, and therefore set it for reappearance on March 19th to get on his scheduling order. March 19th.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. Now, on these other cases,
If I may, Your Honor, after discussion with the state, I think we're going to join in asking the court to allow those matters to be heard by Division 3 by Honorable Judge Putman so we can pass them today if it pleases the court.
All right.
She's in on a $100,000 bond. Her likelihood of obtaining freedom is low to impossible. And any time a defendant gets this many substance abuse related charges, Your Honor, it's an indication that inpatient rehabilitation might be appropriate, and that's the avenue that we're exploring at this time, Your Honor.
All right. We'll leave the bond there at $100,000, and we'll set it down for reappearance in front of Judge Putman on March 19th. You may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next matter to be called is 2015-50, State of Arkansas versus Frank Orest Belvedere.
You know, I do not think that Mr. Belvedere has made an application to the Public Defender's Office. If I'm wrong, he can correct me.
Mr. Belvedere, have you made any arrangements to be represented by an attorney at this time?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I wasn't aware that I had to do that until yesterday, and I immediately put it in, so you may not have received it yet.
So you've made an application to the Public Defender's Office?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
All right. On the charges against you, which are domestic battery in the second degree, a Class B felony, how do you now plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
I'm noting a plea of not guilty. This case is assigned to the Division 4 docket. Court is setting it for by scheduling order, and we'll set it for a next reappearance date, which will be to determine the status of the case in terms of being ready for trial. Will be June 4th. And then I'm going to set it for pretrial on July 2nd. And trial will be scheduled for the week of August 17th. Those will be the settings in the written scheduling order. There'll be other dates mentioned in that scheduling order, but those are the most important 3 dates for everybody to take note of. Is there any other matter to come before the court at this time?
Your Honor, I'm sure Mr. Belvedere would like to know the status of his bond. His bond, I think, is at $20,000. I'm informed by the prosecutor's office that there's a probation hold on him out of Marion County, so bond is not an issue today. And that's the reason, Mr. Belvedere.
Yes, sir.
All right,
That's all right.
you may be excused, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court is calling this case 2015-53, State of Arkansas versus Pamela Pendergrass. Ms. Pendergrass, have you made arrangements to be represented by the public defender, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. On the charge, which includes possession of drug paraphernalia, Class D felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class B felony, possession of a firearm by a certain person, Class B felony, simultaneous possession of drugs and firearm, Class Y felony, criminal possession of body armor, Class D felony, possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 2, Class D felony, possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 4, Class A misdemeanor, and possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 6, a second Class A misdemeanor. On those charges, how do you now plead?
She enters a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
The court notes for the record that a revocation petition has been filed, but apparently the warrant hasn't been returned and the file is not before the court at this point. So at this point, the court will set her next reappearance on 2015-53 to be in Judge Putman on March 19th. Anything else to be taken up at this time?
No, Your Honor. As in the previous case, I was informed by the state that there would be no bond due to the pending probation situation, and she is coming back before Judge Putman on that next week.
All right, very well.